Welcome, to episode 15, of the Elkinsinboxinc News Top 10. Stories of interest, for the Elkinsinboxinc universe. In our first story, we take the time to celebrate, a company, that's been on the New York Stock Exchange, for 50 years. The WD-40 Company, recently rang the opening bell, of the New York Stock Exchange, as they celebrated, 50 years, on the NASDAQ. In a Facebook post, the company stated, that they were proud, to celebrate 50 years, as a member, of the NASDAQ, a part of the New York Stock Exchange. Members of the company were on hand, to participate, in an opening bell ceremony, on the NASDAQ floor. The WD-40 Company is proud to have been on the NASDAQ, since 1973. And is looking forward, to another 50 years of memories, trading on the NASDAQ. The WD-40 Company, produces the popular petroleum-based lubricant, WD-40. A product that is used, to stop squeaks, loosen up rusted parts, and free up sticky mechanisms. WD-40. Number 2. A woman in Nashville, Tennessee, has been sent to jail, after robbing a Dollar General, because she was denied restroom access. On January the 23rd, officers handcuffed and arrested 29-year-old Tiffany Mendez, after officers said that she allegedly robbed the Dollar General store on 3503 Brick Church Pike in Nashville, Tennessee. Upon arrival, officers made contact with a Dollar General employee, who told them that Mendez, who was with her 2 young children, had robbed the store. According to police, Tiffany Mendez had entered the store with her 2 young children and asked an employee if she could use the restroom. The employee told Mendez that their restrooms were not open to the public. Then, an angry Mendez went to the back storage area and, well, did her business on the floor. After this was discovered, the Dollar General employee told Tiffany Mendez that she needed to leave. An angry Mendez forced her way behind the counter and stole a baby doll. The employee then forcefully escorted Mendez and her 2 children out of the store. A few moments later, Mendez then returned to the store without her 2 children and pointed a handgun towards employees and went behind the counter, where merchandise was displayed. After taking several items, Mendez fled the scene. At the scene, Mendez attempted to resist arrest, and tried to prevent officers from placing her in a patrol vehicle. Officers seized a handgun from the passenger's seat of Mendez's vehicle. 29-year-old Tiffany Mendez was charged with 2 felony counts of aggravated robbery with a weapon, theft of merchandise, and resisting arrest. Number 3. Deep in the center of our Earth is the hot and molten iron core. The core spans a total of 746 miles. The core is composed of pure iron. Though we've long believed that the inner core rotates, a new NASA study now suggests that it may have paused its spin and could have even reversed. The liquid outer core that surrounds the inner core is what helps to create the Earth's magnetic field. According to NASA, the molten iron and nickel in the outer core move. They create electrical currents that help to build Earth's magnetic field. The outer core also allows the inner core to spin on its own. Though scientists cannot track the core more directly, they can analyze seismic waves caused by earthquakes, and even Cold War-era nuclear weapons tests. Based on recent findings by Peking University seismologists in Beijing, they found that the inner core's rotation seems to have paused between 2009 and 2020, and could be reversing by a small amount. However, this is nothing to be alarmed about. This likely isn't the first time our inner core has come to a halt. Instead, the change may be associated with a gradual turning back of the inner core as part of a 7-decade oscillation. Seismologists say that their findings of the changes in how fast the seismic waves travel through the inner core coincide with the changes in several other geophysical observations, especially the length of day and the magnetic field. Both are impacted by inner core movement. The inner core is believed to reverse its rotation once every 70 years, and the last time this rotation stopped was in the early 2000s. Number 4. Country music legend and torchbearer Willie Nelson will celebrate his 90th birthday with his friends and family with a 2-day-long all-star concert at the historic Hollywood Bowl this April. The Grammy-winning country icon's milestone birthday bash will take place on April the 29th and April the 30th. The 2-day celebration will feature Willie Nelson and dozens of other performers, including Neil Young, Chris Stapleton, Lyle Lovett, Miranda Lambert, Roseanne Cash, Snoop Dogg, the Dixie Chicks, Casey Musgraves, and many more. 6 decades into Nelson's career, the singer-songwriter, author, and activist is still going strong, and has a new album, entitled I Don't Know a Thing About Love, coming in March. Nelson is also nominated for 4 Grammy Awards this year. Some of Willie Nelson's biggest hits include On the Road Again, Crazy, Funny How Time Slips Away, Bloody Mary Morning, Whiskey River, Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain, and Red-Headed Stranger. Number 5. And this is an Elkinsinboxinc exclusive. YouTube personality, Bradley Server, better known as Curly G, recently went to Los Angeles, California, to visit the grave sites of 2 very famous comedians for the very first time. In a video posted to YouTube, titled, Curly's Grandson Visits Curly and Shemp Howard's Graves, Server, also known as Curly G, visited the grave sites of former Three Stooges members, Jerome Curly Howard, and his brother, Shemp Howard. Brad Curly G. Server is best known as the grandson of Curly Howard, and is also the grandnephew of Shemp Howard. It was Curly G's first time visiting their graves. It was an emotional experience for him, getting to see their graves in person for the very first time. The experience left Curly G with tears and happiness. Server was quoted as saying in the video, "1 out of a trillion chance that the greatest comedian of all time is my grandfather. And I'm here paying tribute, so many people have come here to pay tribute and tell him how much they loved him." In his videos, Brad Server, also known as Curly G, tries to imitate his grandfather's comedic style, and works as hard as ever to keep the spirit of the Three Stooges alive. Server's grandfather, Curly Howard, died from a stroke in 1952, and Server's uncle, Shemp Howard, died from a heart attack in 1955. You can find Curly G's videos on the YouTube channel, Curly's Grandson. He posts comedy videos, blogs, and live streams on a weekly basis. Number 6. Warner Brothers Discovery-owned cable channel, Adult Swim, has announced that Rick and Morty co-creator, Justin Roiland, has been terminated from his job. The 42-year-old creator of the hit animated series, Rick and Morty, was recently charged with multiple counts of domestic abuse. Adult Swim put out a message over social media pages, saying, Adult Swim has ended its association with Justin Roiland. Rick and Morty will continue. The talented and dedicated crew are hard at work on Season 7. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the voices of the 2 characters, in which Roiland played both, will be recast. Roiland is awaiting trial on charges of felony domestic violence against a former girlfriend. A criminal complaint was obtained by Orange County, California prosecutors, charging Roiland with corporal injury and false imprisonment by menace, fraud, violence, or deceit against an ex-girlfriend whom he had been living with. The incident occurred in January of 2020, and Roiland was charged in May of that year. Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon created the animated sitcom Rick and Morty, about a mad scientist and his grandson. It airs on Cartoon Network as part of its Adult Swim late-night programming block. Number 7. In this article, we take a look at the short history of one of cable's most forgotten and long since deactivated TV channels, the Cable Music Channel. Cable Music Channel, or CMC, was first launched by Turner Broadcasting System on October 26, 1984. Media mogul Ted Turner launched the Cable Music Channel as a competitor to Viacom's MTV. The very first video played on the channel, which was also the last video ever played on the network, was "I Love LA" by Randy Newman. Unlike MTV, Cable Music Channel played more adult contemporary music and promoted itself as avoiding sexually and violently explicit music, which MTV had a reputation of playing. When the channel was launched, Ted Turner held a special launch ceremony in Los Angeles, in which he pushed a big red button and shouted, "Take that, MTV." However, the channel lost money and viewership very rapidly. Turner was unable to reach a sufficient amount of cable homes with his new music venture, and the channel shut down on November 30, 1984. After Cable Music Channel shut down, the channel space in which the channel existed was purchased by Viacom, and CMC's successor, VH1, was launched on January 1, 1985. Cable Music Channel is one of the shortest-lived cable channels to ever exist. Number 8. At Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida, SpaceX Corporation has successfully launched another batch of 56 Starlink satellites aboard a Falcon 9 rocket from Space Launch Complex 40. The liftoff occurred in the early morning hours of January 26 at 4:32 a.m. Eastern Time. The first stage of the Falcon 9 booster was previously used to launch the CRS-22 commercial resupply mission to the International Space Station, the NASA Crew 3 mission to the ISS, Turksat 5B, NASA Crew 4, CRS-25, Eutelsat Hotbird 13G, M-Power A, and one Starlink mission. Following stage separation, the Falcon 9 first stage booster made a successful drone ship landing on the drone ship named, just read the instructions. This Starlink launch helps to expand Starlink satellite internet service for internet users all over the globe. The footage you are seeing now is of the Falcon 9 first stage on the drone ship, just read the instructions. While the Falcon 9 second stage places the Starlink satellites into its planned parking orbit.
For the second stage.
Number 9. In this small town profile article, we take a look at a small railroad town, nestled in the hills of Southwest Virginia, the city of Norton, Virginia. The city of Norton was originally named Prince's Flat, in recognition of William Prince, who built a home in the area in 1787. It would remain under that name for over a century. As a rural frontier area, it prospered through the development of agricultural and lumber-related industries. The town changed its name to Norton in 1890 in honor of X-Dean Norton, and was incorporated on February 15, 1894. The Norfolk Southern Railroad Company operates a freight yard in Norton and extends almost the entire length of the city's downtown area. Today the city thrives on coal mining, and tourism. As of 2020, Norton currently has a population of 3,687 residents. Some of the tourist attractions in the city include Norton Cinema, Hotel Norton, the High Knob Observation Tower, the Woodburger Grill, Flag Rock, High Knob Recreation Area, Hillcrest Bowling Lanes, Norton Commons Shopping Center, Park Avenue Theater, Central Drive-In Theater, and a roller skating rink, called The Great. An acronym for Gaming, Recreation, Entertainment, and Adventure Theme Park. And, number 10. An iceberg as big as the city of London has broken off in the continent of Antarctica. Scientists first discovered significant cracks in the ice shelf within the last decade. But in the last couple of years, there's been two major breaks. The iceberg is about 600 square miles in size, making it as big as the city of London in the United Kingdom. It is currently summertime in Antarctica, and the iceberg break-off comes amid record low sea ice extent. As of this writing, the iceberg does not currently pose any threat to shipping lanes. The decline of Antarctic ice is usually very steep this time of the year. However, within the past 2 years, it has been almost more rapid than in years past. This is because of unusually warm temperatures at the southernmost end of the Earth. Stronger winds have also had an impact on the more rapid decline of sea ice. This iceberg break-off was not unexpected. Large chunks of ice usually break off from the Antarctic ice shelf during the southern hemisphere summer. However, this one is very unique because of it being the size of a metropolis. And that concludes this episode of the Elkinsinboxinc News Top 10. As always, if you like what you see on this channel, don't forget to drop a like, leave a comment and subscribe. Make sure you click the notification icon so you don't miss a video from our news channel or our main channel, Elkinsinboxinc Audio Visual. Thank you for watching, God bless, and be sure to support our Rumble page as well.
End the deep state. Stop the radical left.